Yeah, I know what you're thinking. You can get a job in the Middle East simply by trying or by magic, through others, or by fluke. Remember that competition is everywhere. Some here, some there, but bam! Loy Machedo is the best.
All right, in this video, I'm going to share with you one of the most powerful traits which I have had a lot of pride in, and it has been part of my personality for many, many years. In fact, this is a trait that I instill in my clients, and without which you cannot succeed. That's what at least I believe. So I'll speak to you about it, and you can give me your thoughts whether you agree or disagree. For those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Loy Machedo. I specialize in helping people get well-paying jobs in the Middle East, especially Dubai, UAE. And people book my services for personal professional coaching. Okay, details are put down below. Now, I'll give you in terms of as a story, as an example, because stories, true stories, they generally people can relate to it. Now, this goes back in time when I was in touch with my mentor and my mentor Murad. And he used to literally, I used to literally call him every single day. Every single day, I would call him up and I would talk to him on various issues. I would take his advice on various things. And I'm really so grateful that even though he was so accomplished, so successful, he was like CEO of multiple companies. He was running multiple businesses. He was meeting the who's who. He was like, if I was here and a CEO is here, he was way above. Okay. In hindsight today, I'm really grateful. I'm very humble that he even considered me good enough to speak to him. Great man, great man. I will always forever have the greatest respect. And I made a video about him, my mentor Murad. Okay. So I used to speak to him, and he followed a very unique strategy. Every coach has a very different style of coaching. Some people are very aggressive, some are very soft, some allow you, like a psychologist, to just speak, and you can be what you want to be. Some others will let you speak, and then at the end they'll tell you, okay, this is what you did right or wrong. So his style was, he would never push his agenda. He would never push it. He would let me go with the flow, and if he felt I was wrong somewhere, he would point that out. So I was just starting my career in terms of being a coach and consultant. I remember that very well. This is after the age of 36. And as usual, I used to always call him up. And one day when I spoke to him and I was telling him about actually this particular MC, I was an MC, just so that you know, I was an MC, I was a DJ, I was an anchor for shows. I used to make my money lending my services, my voice, or my event management skills, even as a trainer as well as an entertainer. Okay. So obviously you have to keep an eye on your competitors and people who are in the same line of work. So one among them was a gentleman whose name was Dave Crane. Now this guy, I don't know if he's still there in UAE, but Dave Crane was I don't know whether he was American or whether he was Jamaican, and he was doing very well. He was doing exceptionally well. Almost every international event, he would host the event. Almost every training program, he would conduct training. And he was one of those forward thinkers who believed in internet marketing when internet marketing was not even there. He believed in the power of making money online when that was a very novel topic. I remember at the age of 29 or 30, when people were just starting off understanding what is the internet and how do you market yourself online, he was already there. So he was always many steps ahead. And any international event, any big event, he was there lending his voice, making things happen. And his target audience was always British, American, Westerners, Australians, the Western crowd. And he was literally everywhere. Me, on the other hand, I was nowhere. Okay, I was doing small time events. I was doing small time weddings. I was doing small time shows. I would do an Indian wedding. I would do a baptism, communion, confirmation. And I was getting paid like for a whole event. I would get paid $150, $200 US dollars. That is for the whole day of work. And when I was DJing, I didn't have the money to buy the equipment or the CDs. Those days, people were still using CDs. That laptop software and AI software is not yet that developed, but I prefer using CDs. So I used to do it with my partner. Now, I was earning, like I told you, $150, $200. This guy was literally commanding, I think, 10 times more. 10 times, like he would get minimum, I think, minimum $2,000 for any event. And, sky's the limit. So I used to talk to my mentor about this particular guy. I should tell him, hey, he doesn't know how to talk. Oh, his jokes are not funny. Oh, he's doing this. Oh, he's doing that. I used to constantly bitch about him. One day, as I was talking to my mentor and telling him, I received an email from this guy. I don't know why the hell did he send me an email. I didn't even sign up to his newsletter. And he was telling about this coaching program. His website is unprofessional. He is so boring. I find him laughable. My mentor, as usual, was listening to what I had to say. Finally, he told me, Loy, and when my mentor opens his mouth, I'm shush, because my mentor hardly talks. But when he talks, I listen. He said, Loy? I said, yes. He's saying, why are you obsessed about him? I said, what? Obsessed about? What do you mean I'm obsessed? Yeah. Why you so crazy about him? Why are you so jealous about him? Why do you admire him so much? So I immediately told him, what do you mean admire him? What do you mean jealous? I'm not jealous. Ha ha. What jealous? No, Loy. You are jealous. You know for a fact he's better than you. You know for a fact that he's more accomplished than you. You know for a fact that you can never reach where he is. So the only thing you can do is put him down. That is why you're obsessed about him. Once again, I refuse to believe. I told him, no. You're wrong. You're wrong. I'm not obsessed about him. I'm not jealous about him. I find him funny. I don't even take him seriously. He once again told me, Loy, do you know how many times you have been talking to me about him? I told him, well, I just spoke to you about him now. He said, no, every single time you call me, every single time, every single day, you'll talk about him. You'll talk about what event he's doing. You'll talk about his pronunciation. You'll talk about his personality. You'll talk about how pathetic he is. You'll talk about that, he is not as good as whatever. He's saying, so what he told me is, you're obsessed about him. And the reason you're obsessed is because you know he's better than you. Deep down, you know that you'll never reach his level. Deep down, you know that you can never accomplish what he has done. And that is why, to feel good about it, you bitch about him. I just kept quiet and I was like, I talk to him, I talk about him like just 2-3 times. No, he told me, you talk about him every single time. And then my mentor gave me a challenge. He said, my challenge to you, from today onwards, you'll never speak to me about him. You will only speak to me about what you're doing. You'll speak to me what you have accomplished. You'll speak to me about your failures. You'll speak to me about where you are irritating, where you are incomplete, where you are bad. We'll only speak about you, not about him. And, for me, as cocky as I was one hell cocky son of a bitch. Okay, fine, okay, yeah. And I still didn't accept what my mentor told me. And obviously, my mentor, being mature that he is, he didn't want to drive home a point. He said, okay, fine. Say anything else? I said, no, that was about it. And I said, bye. After I said bye, I sat and thought about it. I was like, and was I talking about him so many times? I started to recollect and I realized what he said is true. What he said was 100% true. I was always talking about him, focused about him, obsessed about him, bad mouthing him. And my mentor has this way where he'll make me realize, but he'll let it grow. Like he'll plant the seed and he'll let it grow. So the next time I called him, I don't know whether it was the following day or after 2, 3 days, I said, I I just want to speak to you about the discussion we had last time. He said, yeah, go ahead. And then I told him, you remember you were telling me that I'm obsessed about this guy. I talk about this guy. He said, yeah. He said, yeah, tell me. So I told him, I just realized that I'm bad mouthing him even without knowing him. He said, exactly. And, here's the funny thing, which my mentor told me. He said, Loy, you are talking about him 24/7. Have you realized he will never talk about you? You will talk about him, but he'll never talk about you. You will look at his website, but he'll never look at yours. You will see what events he is doing, he'll never look at yours. Why? Because he is levels higher than you. That makes him better than you. And I just kept quiet. This time I didn't disagree with my mentor. And then my mentor gave me a challenge. He said, I want you to observe him again. But this time I want you to tell me what is good about him. What can you learn from him? What can you emulate? He told me all these things and I just kept quiet and I said, okay, fine. And he said, anything else? I said, no. Okay. I sat down and then what I decided to do is, okay, I normally go to his website and I make fun of him. And this video is crap and this. Let me see the same website, but with a lens. What can I appreciate? So this time I logged into his website. Obviously, it was not my taste. But then I asked myself, he has a video. I don't have a video on my website. So he's better than me. He has written all his achievements on his website and I was making fun of it. Where are my achievements? He has shared all his experiences. I don't have any. So all of a sudden, where I was focusing on his imperfections, when I decided to force myself to see where can I learn something from, where he's better than me, automatically, one by one, I was being exposed. And then later on, as I started to, search more and talk more about him, I was asking people who knew him. I found out that he's a family man. I found out that he's a very good human being. I found out that he never badmouths anybody in the industry. I found that he was likable by everyone. I found out that most of the international events, he's the first choice that they have because he's that good. He might not be like an international global figure, but he was really, people loved working with him. And then at every step where I saw something good about him, I realized I was lacking there. For example, people loved working with him again and again and again every year. But with my case, people worked with me once and that was it. Next year, they would try someone else. Where he was doing large crowds of maybe 6,000, 7,000 people, I was doing small piddly crowds of 200 people. And I didn't even know that he was a professional anchor. Maybe he did some course or DJing. And he did all these certifications, NLP, and even though it's pseudoscience, fine, whatever. But he had all these certifications. I didn't have any. And eventually, what my mentor said was so true. Here I was obsessed about him. And my obsession was to cherry pick every bad thing about him. And when I would find bad things about him, I would feel good about myself. But my mentor changed my the way I was thinking, my way of thinking, and said, instead of being obsessed about him, why don't you be obsessed about you? Instead of being obsessed about his drawbacks, why don't you be obsessed about his good points and see where you can learn from it? The main core focus was, we have a focus, right, of being obsessed about something. There's a right way of being obsessed and there's a wrong way. You can be like, they have these stalkers and these people who will constantly pick, oh, he's a bad person. Like there are even people who will constantly bash up Narendra Modi, who's the Prime Minister of India, or they'll bash up a celebrity star, or they'll bash up their colleagues in the office, the manager, or they'll talk bad about whatever. And every single day, they will only talk crap about these people and feel good about it. In fact, today at this stage of my life, I do have people on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook who will busy talk bad about me, bitch about me, make fun of me, my accent, my looks, my credibility, my integrity. And I remember this thing about my mentor. Because here's the funny thing. These people who are talking about me, they're focused about me, my work, what I do, everything, whether my perfections, imperfections, good or bad. But I don't focus on them. I'm focused on me. And if I am focused on someone else, it would be for the purpose of me growing, my brand growing, my net value growing, my ability to earn. So, and if I don't like someone, I always ask myself, means a person who is accomplished and I don't like him, what can I learn from him? Where is he better than me? How can I, pick up something from him that can multiply my capacity to whatever, earning, brand, money, fame, whatever. And when you're forced to observe someone as a student, as someone who wants to learn, you'll realize the person you hate, the person who you talk bad about or bitch about, is actually, the fact of the matter is, better than you. It's just that your insecurities are so deep, your imperfections are so deep. And it's a fact that you can never be as good as them. That is why, to feel good, you bitch about them. Like when I look back at that guy, I realize that I could never reach his level. Never. As a family man, he was better than me. Education wise, he was better than me. Money at that time, he was better than me. His reach was better than me. His contacts, connections, his events, his payments, his every single thing, every single area. But to feel good, I would only look at bad in every area. Like instead of family, oh, he's a loser, this thing. Oh, he's out of shape. Oh, he looks old. Oh, he is boring. Oh, but guess what? When I decided to look at it in a way that forcing myself to see something good which I can learn and become a better human being, I found so many. I was so blinded. I was so prejudiced. I was so biased. And I can tell you without a doubt that no matter how hard that Loy Machedo would have tried, he would have never matched to the impossible. I'm being honest. It would be impossible. I don't know where is he today. I don't know what is he doing today. I'm pretty sure he's in a happy place. I never even Google search. I'm not even search, and I will not. But it was a turning point in my life. That incident with my mentor, that realization. That's why now, when I am even tempted to talk about someone or bitch about someone or Google search someone and, check about them, I ask myself these questions. Where is this person better than me? What can I learn from this person? Why is this person better? How can I learn something from this person to improve my earnings, my reach, my brand value? And I force myself to see something good. And if, let's say, for example, I look at someone and there's absolutely nothing, say, for example, absolutely nothing, then why am I wasting my time? Why am I even thinking of this person? What will I get? I'll get nothing, right? So I say, better stop. And for the people who follow me and who bitch about me and talk crap about me and regularly send me negative messages and all that, now when I look at it, I feel like laughing. I'm like, very good. Continue focusing on me because it's not going to help you. It's going to help me because it shows that I'm so important that you have to focus on me. You're not focusing on you. You're obsessed about me. And just imagine if 10 years down the line, 5 or 10 years down the line, all the effort, all the energy, everything what you put focusing on me, how's it going to help you, man? So that is why I'm obsessed about me. If there is someone better, I always ask myself, what can I learn, observe, and teach myself that would make me a better person instead of me criticizing them? And if I cannot find anything good about that person, anything good, then why am I wasting my time there? That makes sense, right? So this is what I wanted to share with you. You let me know your thoughts, whether you agree, disagree, and I can definitely tell you that in hindsight, my mentor was right on the target. Only it took me some time to realize that. And today I'm sharing these golden words with you. I hope it helps you become a better individual. Remember, the very person you're talking bad about, who you keep talking about, who you make fun of, deep down, the fact is there is something that person is doing better than you, which you can never do and never accomplish. Because if that person was not as good as you or accomplished as you or whatever, you wouldn't waste your time. Even like you would not waste a single second even thinking about them. Like, let's say a cleaner or a loser or a beggar or a electrician or someone who is earning a very small income, very, very small. Are you going to spend time obsessed about them? No. You'll only look at people who are better off than you. And you'll attack them to feel good. I made fun of him. Ha, ha, ha. That clearly shows where you are. And the people who surround you, they will laugh and they will enjoy and all that. But they are not your well-wishers, because if they were your well-wishers, they would tell you, stop doing what you're doing and focus on you. So instead of commenting or writing articles or posting stuff of the person you don't like, that same effort, that same creativity, that same focus, that same energy, put it on helping yourself grow. And trust me when I say this, you'll thank me for it. My mentor gave me this gift, made me realize, and it has changed my life ever since. So today, when I have my clients and they talk about someone else, provided they're my paid clients, I tell them stop and I teach them the same thing my mentor taught me. Anyway, this is what I wanted to share with you. You let me know your thoughts, whether you agree, disagree, good, bad, ugly. I love to read your comments. It's me signing off. You guys take care.